Alright everyone, welcome back, and it's time to go balls deep as usual and go detective mode in finding the meaning and philosophical message behind Uchiha Madara's idea to achieve the Eye of the Moon plan. So this will be a Naruto series on the channel where we discuss the philosophy, message and meaning behind every single Akatsuki member. And now we are starting off with Madara Uchiha, but let us know in the comment section below who do you want us to cover next. Now we ourselves, we were thinking pain. So before we explain why Madara believed putting the whole ninja world into an Infinite Tsukuyomi as a good idea, we first need to break down and understand what exactly is the Infinite Tsukuyomi and what did Madara understand it to be. The Infinite Tsukuyomi, or in full Japanese, Mugen Tsukuyomi, is an extremely powerful Genjutsu, only capable of being performed by a user with the Ren Sharingan. And to be cast on the entire population of Earth, it must be casted and reflected off the moon. Once casted, the penetrating light of the Infinite Tsukuyomi shines across the whole world, bright enough to dispel the night for as long as it's active. All those who fall under its gaze are trapped in a Genjutsu, with the Rinnegan design reflecting in their eyes to represent its influence. Victims of the Infinite Tsukuyomi are rendered immobile so as long as they are under its effects. Now, those under the influence of the Infinite Tsukuyomi experience dream worlds where their deepest desires are fulfilled, kind of like the idea of a peaceful paradise that they experience in accordance to their subjective experience. However, before the revelation of this technique, we were introduced to a dojutsu very similar to this, and you're probably thinking, oh, I know which one. Yeah, it's the Tsukuyomi, which was only performed by Itachi Uchiha with his Mangekyo Sharingan. So the first time we witnessed this is when he used it against Kakashi to trap him in an illusion where he was stabbed in a constant loop, right? So the ability is able to alter the target's perception of time. So Itachi can use the Tsukuyomi to subject his victim to days worth of torture in a matter of seconds. In the anime, Tsukuyomi's illusions are usually represented as an inverted grayscale, and there is usually also a red moon in a red sky, right? Now, on a side note, with a lot of you guys also probably wondering, why is the Tsukuyomi always associated with the moon? Well, I'm here to answer that for you. So, like most of Kishimoto's concept, the idea was inspired from ancient Shinto Japanese myth, where Tsukuyomi is the moon god, and the rough translation of Tsukuyomi being moon reader. With that, Tsukuyomi, the Shinto god, is also associated and cited to be the god of time, fitting the Genjutsu ability to alter the perception of the passing of time. Hopefully you guys all got that. With the Mugen Tsukuyomi, although it's translated as Infinite Moon Reader, the Mugen can also be translated as dreams, fantasy or visions, which fits the nature of this technique, which could suggest the true nature of the Mugen Tsukuyomi, which is to dream in fantasy. However, Itachi's dojutsu can also be similar to the Infinite Tsukuyomi if you think about it. So as told in the Itachi Shinden series, which was adapted and partly canon, and you guys know this, where Itachi used it on his girlfriend Izumi Uchiha, and he caused her to live through a happy and fulfilled life, similar to what Madara wanted for everyone else. So this was a positive experience she enjoyed by falling in love with Itachi, having those kids with him, and growing old within the dream. She died thanking Itachi for that experience, you know what I'm saying? So all in all, the Infinite Tsukuyomi is pretty much the ultimate Genjutsu dream which lasts forever. It's endless, real world time doesn't appear to advance. Moreover, since everyone's mind have been drawn to the illusion, nobody is around to perceive the flow of time anyway. But why would Madara want to cast this on everyone on Earth? What was Madara's philosophy and reasoning to justify this intention for this plan? Okay, so let's try to understand Madara's point of view, and why would he decide to cast the entire populace into a dream? Well, Madara from a young age was raised in the midst of war, as he and his clan constantly fought their adversary from the Senju clan. Even after meeting Hashirama Senju and becoming his best friend, he had to give up that friendship and bond and fight him instead. After years of battles which made him lose his father and other brothers, the war eventually did stop with the creation of Konoha, a village a home to many. However, he tasted the moments of peace only for it to be snatched away by the difference of ideals. The constant difference of opinion between Madara and Hashirama was more likely embedded in him due to the cycle of hatred and the war between Asura and Indra. After all, we can't forget that Madara is the reincarnation of Indra. Ultimately, Madara seeks peace through dominance and control just like him, and when Hashirama was elected as Hokage, Madara became concerned for the Uchiha's future, believing this to be the first step of subjugation of the Uchiha clan and Senju dominance. He believed an Uchiha could never be in power or given respect within the nations. Now once again, the cycle of war would begin, and the warring states started happening, a lot of political times was happening, and to be fair, Madara ended up being right. The Uchiha was subjugated to discrimination, and they were about to start a coup later on. Ultimately, Madara wanted a solid solution to world peace. He yearned for a world that his family could have lived in, and his fond memories of his brother, for example, could live on. Madara believed that the world was full of hatred and violence, which could not be solved through political means or pacifism due to everyone's selfish interests. He also believed the world was becoming weak and lacking that didn't understand the history that made it. He came to this ideology through his subjective experience of the world and the way he was treated. He was also proud of the Uchiha name. He had the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan eyes in which no one else possessed. Thus, when he went to read the Uchiha Stone Tablet, which was changed by Black Zetsu by the way, it was ultimately believable to him and it fit his perception of the world. This is where his god complex prophecy type personality got created. He wanted the world to not feel the pain and suffering he went through, so he believed his eyes was the true path to reach his goal. Looking at things holistically, Madara Uchiha embodies part of the message that Naruto the anime tries to tell viewers. The Naruto anime tries to parallel real world elements in its universe to emphasize on the idea of understanding one another and pacifism. The whole idea of tailed beasts, for example, are an image of nuclear weapons, similar to them in real life. If a ninja or a nation tried to use the tailed beasts, they would be in danger of destruction. The balance of the world would be destroyed if the beasts are used for the wrong purposes, right? So Kishimoto, the creator of Naruto, says in his own words, so there's an organization called the Akatsuki that appears. Akatsuki is not associated with the villages, they are like a group of mercenaries. That plot point can also be part of the real world. Doing a long-term serialization, I also received the inspiration from reality of the world that I thought overlapped at the time. Also, war is a difficult thing to write about, it's a difficult theme. I grew up in Okayama, which is right next to Hiroshima. My grandparents went through the terror of war, and I know from their stories that war was built on people's grudges. But you can't just look at the current state and criticize it and just say it's simply wrong, because every little thing in our history causes build up towards war, and when it reaches its limit, it breaks out. So even in the manga of Naruto, it wouldn't be believable unless I carefully elaborate on the war's background. So as my grandfather taught me, I believe that war is never the right answer, but I also understand that there will always be war. I feel lucky that I grew up in a generation that didn't experience war. However, there are certain things that only my generation can tell in a story. I can tell it from my own perspective, even through fiction. I want to make people feel like there is still hope. Now, if you didn't cry or get inspired from that speech, god damn, you're heartless. Guys, if you have got to this point of the video, I'd appreciate if you could smash that like button, hit the notification bell, because I cover Naruto on a weekly basis, and if I get to 5,000 likes, I promise you I'm going to do 10 things you didn't know about Madara, a video discussing his concept, his creation, every single question that you're wondering about him, and I'll get that done for you. Anyway, let's get back to my point. But what I'm trying to say is, when it comes to the Akatsuki in the anime, I for one, and maybe some of you out there, let me know in the comments, but some of these characters to me kind of seem like anti-heroes. They all have a reason to be in the position that they are in, and why they choose to become a mercenary. Some of them have intentions that are questionable, of course, but they do fall under a philosophical debate that can be argued, such as Pain and Conan. Kishimoto himself believes that the Akatsuki, which includes Madara, are anti-hero-esque type characters who are pitted against Naruto. He didn't want them to make pure villains for the sake of it, but he purposely wanted them to make them have different reasons to why they are outlaws due to the injustice in the world that they have suffered through their experience. Okay, so now that we have explained everything about the reason and the philosophy behind Madara's actions, let's discuss the hidden meaning and message Kishimoto was trying to imply through him. So as we stated, the Infinite Tsukuyomi is the means to escape. It's like a facade you have to accept. For example, in reality, if you accept VR, virtual reality, as your truth and the view of the world, that's your escape from the problems or struggles you actually have in real life. Now, we all do this. We are all guilty of watching a movie, anime, playing video games, or procrastinating to escape the real problem and task at hand that we have to do, which could be a simple thing such as studying for an exam or forgetting for a moment of not having enough money to pay your bills. Now, in the Naruto anime universe, the characteristics of a shinobi is to endure. That's one of the themes of the anime. When you can suffer from something difficult or painful but still look at the bright side and live life to move forward, you will eventually find your peace and be successful. However, Kishimoto tries to imply the idea in Naruto that everyone still wants that feeling to escape. Although we can endure, we still desire that comfort or ease, even in real life. Ninjas are humans after all, and we as humans are flawed. Tsunade, for example, escapes into alcohol or gambling. Jiraiya loves his women and writing novels. Hinata wants to confess her love for Naruto and have a family. Everyone has a dream in the Infinite Tsukuyomi. So whilst Kishimoto was writing the plan for the Infinite Tsukuyomi for Madara Uchiha, he was thinking to himself, oh my god, I really need to finish this manga. It's on a weekly basis and it's really hard work. But the thoughts that used to creep into his mind while he was writing the Infinite Tsukuyomi is that he wanted to escape himself. I mean, if you know the life of a mangaka, you know you work for 16 hours a day sometimes. It's really hard. So this resulted in Kishimoto wanting to watch DVDs or TV. He defines it as a real escape from reality. That's the Infinite Tsukuyomi. We all have that inside ourselves. In his own words, he said this: I wanted to escape myself, but I prohibited myself from doing that with these thoughts. This resulted in the idea he depicted in the manga with Madara casting the Infinite Tsukuyomi. The creator of Naruto states that Madara wanted the salvation for the Uchiha clan and world peace. It was truly something Madara believed in due to his subjective experience as a ninja. Madara's Moon Eye plan represents the philosophy that peace is a state of mind. While the physical and material world is unimportant, it draws people's mind into peace. Although it's a fake one, it's still bliss for them because their bodies become irrelevant. One of the major flaws of this plan, however, is that Madara never gave anyone a choice. It's forced and it's a dictatorship, right? Ultimately, if asked the question, if Madara's Moon Eye plan was wrong or evil, you wouldn't be able to give a correct moral answer, as Madara isn't really a villain but an anti-hero. His intentions was for peace and his solution was viable. If Itachi using Tsukuyomi on his girlfriend Izumi was sweet and it was something that we liked, then why not Madara's version of it? Wouldn't you want to live a perfect life and have your deepest desires fulfilled? If humans dream for a heaven when they die, what's wrong with being there in it when you're in the world and you're alive? And that's how Madara saw it. Anyways, that's the message of the show and the philosophy summed up as easy as possible. We all have a Tsukuyomi inside of us. Hopefully you understand everything. Let me know your opinion in the comment section below. Follow us on Instagram or Twitter and catch me next time. See ya.